Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're just now tuning in, this is our 2000 Jeep Cherokee that we bought from Copart for $800. Our first episode, we cleaned it up. Second episode, we cleaned the inside. Third episode, we fixed the mechanical damage as it was listed, mechanical damage and biohazard. The mechanical damage was broken brake lines, so if you guys want to see that video, I will tag it either here or here at the end of the video, and you can go to that. So what we're going to do today is we're going to change all of the fluids in this Jeep because we have no idea how long it's been sitting. We're going to do the engine oil, transmission, transfer case, front axle, rear axle. So we're going to get all the fluids changed. This way we know we're starting fresh when we start our other projects we're going to work on this thing. So guys, without further ado, we're going to get this Jeep into place, get it up on stands, and we're going to start changing fluids. And should be pretty interesting. Sit down, grab a drink, and we're gonna get started. All right guys, what we're going to do start first, since we had the Jeep up on the ramps, we're going to do everything in the front end first. We're going to do the front axle, and we're going to do the oil change. So we're going to start that first. We'll take you guys along as much as we can, but that's what we're going to start first. All right guys, first things first, we're going to get this engine up at the temperature. Like I said, we have no idea how long this freaking thing has been sitting or last time the oil was changed. So what we have is Ashton has our liquid moly engine flush, so we're going to pour that in. We're going to let it run for 10 minutes. I think that's what it says on the instructions. Get up the temperature.
Whole thing?
Yeah, put the whole thing in. We're just, well, try to get it in. And we're going to let this engine run, and hopefully you'll get all the shit flushed out of it. That's what we're going to do first. Let the engine run. Next thing you know, we're going to go underneath and we're going to take the front diff cover off, and we're going to get that gear loop changed out of there. So that's what we're doing. All right guys, first things first, start getting this diff cover off. All right guys, we got all the bolts out. We left one in at the top. This way when you pry the cover off, it doesn't come out crazy like that. All right, now you take the top bolt out. And a lot of you are probably saying, how come you didn't take this out yet? Well, I didn't. It should come out. Or the fill plug, I didn't take it out yet. So usually everybody says those C's up in there. I got confidence that it should come out pretty easily. So what we're gonna do is get this cover off, get it cleaned up, get everything else cleaned, get the gasket cleaned off of it, and move forward. All right guys, we got the cover off. Ashton has our carb cleaner. We're going to start cleaning the hell out of this thing. We're going to empty some cans of brake clean in here, get it all nice and cleaned up. We've got the cover over there. We'll get the gasket cleaned off of that. We'll get that cleaned up, and we'll keep moving forward. We'll get this this back on, and we will put some new gasket sealer on there. We have a whole new gasket for it. Fill her up with some gear lube. Then we'll change the oil. Guys, like in true redneck fashion, always when you have your diff cover off, always paint it. And obviously we got red to match the Jeep. I cleaned it all off, degreased it. Actually took it into the kitchen sink and used some Dawn dish soap on there. Got all the grease off, scrubbed it down. We heated it up just a little bit just to get the moisture out of the metal. But always paint your diff cover. It's like a must. Like rebuilding. All right, guys, while we're waiting for our diff cover to dry in the nice sun, we're gonna go ahead and change the engine oil. Ashton's gonna go ahead and do that. It's nothing spectacular. We'll just throw it on time lapse. That way you guys can just, you know, keep following along. All right, fellas, we got all the engine oil changed. If you see that in there, got a brand new filter, Wix filter. That was a pain in the ass getting the old one off. I don't know who had it or who tightened it, but they tightened the freaking shit out of it, and it took us forever to get it off. So we're like an hour behind schedule trying to get that oil filter off. But anyhow, we're gonna start with the front axle. We're gonna get the diff cover on. I got the gasket, I got the Right Stuff gasket maker, I got everything I need. We're gonna throw this front diff on, move to the rear diff, get that done. Then we'll move to the transfer case. Then last and least would be the trans fluid and new transmission filter. So we got a lot to do. So we're gonna probably do some here in time lapse, get this video moving. All right, guys, let's get to work. All right, guys, we got the front done, front axle done, engine oil changed. We're gonna start the rear next. I'm gonna let Ashton just go ahead and do his thing. I'll just put you guys on time lapse. I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's just changing differential fluid. It's not like it's rocket science. But I'm gonna set you guys up. Ashton's gonna do it on his own, and I'm just gonna watch. All right, fellers, we got the back cover off. Ashton had some issues trying to get it off, but he got it off. So we're gonna look in here. It's an open rear. It's not a locker or anything along those lines. So what we're gonna do now, let me get out from underneath here. We're going to get all the gasket scraped off of this. We're going to get the diff cover cleaned up. And of course we're going to paint it, because you always paint your diff cover when you take them off. And we're going to get everything cleaned up and put back on and fill it with fluid and move on to the next job, which is probably going to be the transfer case. Get that drained out, get that cleaned up. Then if we have time today, we'll hit the transmission and filter. I don't know if we'll have time today. It's getting late in the day, but if we do, it'll make this episode. And if it doesn't, it'll make a future episode. But right now we're gonna get everything cleaned up and move on. All right, fellers, we got the rear differential all cleaned up. We got all the gasket off. We got to get some new gasket maker material on there, or some right stuff is going to use. Like I said before, you always paint your diff cover. I don't know why. It's just something I always did. I just think it's gets you cool. But anyhow, when this dries, we'll get some gasket maker on this. We'll get gasket maker on that. We'll get the gaskets ready. We'll get everything bolted up. We'll get fluid in there. Then we'll hit the transfer case. If we have time today, which I don't know if we will, we'll dig into the transmission filter, but maybe I'll save that for another episode, because that's pretty intense, getting the pan off, getting it cleaned up, getting the filter out. So I think we'll just stick to the basics today. Then in the next episode we will do the transmission flush. But anyhow, we're going to get stuff ready to get this cover back on. We'll throw you on some time lapse and we'll get that done. All right, guys, we are finished with the Jeep for today. We where's the Jeep at? Right here. We kind of ran out of time today. It's getting late in the day. Said we were going to do the transmission filter and service, but I think we're going to wait on that to the next episode. I need to get a couple more things for the transmission service. So what we're going to do is transfer case, transmission next time. But anyhow, we're going to finish up. We're going to clean up today. We did as much as we wanted to do today. It's getting late and it's getting close to dinner time. So anyhow, guys, thanks for watching. If you like our content, please give us a comment, please like, please share, please subscribe. And like I said, we'll see you guys on the next one. And as usual, thanks for watching.